Tico's the treat, joined by our buddy Eddie George, four-time Pro Bowler, first-team All-Pro back in 2000, and one of the great Buckeyes, and a very eclectic resume, doing some acting, a little singing, a little dancing. Eddie, what's happening, buddy? How you been, man?
Man, I'm good, man. Trying to stay cool from this brutal summer. It's been so hot. I've been living in Nashville, and it's been 102 every day. Heat index, and you can only imagine. It feels like my skin is burning. But outside of that, man, getting ready for a great football season. Son is playing at Vanderbilt. My youngest is playing middle school. So I'm getting my schedule ready for that and getting ready to see my Buckeyes go to work this year and working on a couple initiatives with Russell Athletic this season.
Yeah, no, you got tons of things going on. I didn't realize you had a son that was already in college. I don't feel like you're that much older than
All right.
me, but I mean,
I started when I was 12.
you, you must have been because you look like you're still in your 30s,
He
early
does
30s.
look good. Hey, did you say Vanderbilt?
Yeah, he's playing at Vanderbilt. He's going to be a redshirt freshman, playing running back, and really excited about the season for him. Last year he didn't have a chance to go through camp because he suffered a shoulder injury that he had sustained during high school. And blessings always happen. And I tell him that, listen, you had a great year to really focus on your craft, to get a year of consistent training under your belt, get used to the college life without parental guidance. And so it's been a really great transformative year for him. And now I think he's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, no, that's one of the biggest adjustments when you go to college is that you are unproctored and don't actually have to do your homework because no one's going to tell you
Right,
to.
or go to class.
Exactly. You don't have to do anything until you
Right.
fail out and lose your scholarship and all those other things. But I'm sure that's not going to happen for your son. But let's stick in college real quick. And you look at Ohio State, you guys lost a lot of players. 16 starters are gone. A few of them were drafted, including Eli Apple, who came here, Ezekiel Elliott, who I love. What's the prospectus for the Buckeyes this season? I mean, they may still win the Big Ten, but it doesn't feel like they're the same dominant team that they were because of the personnel losses.
No, they lost a lot. I mean, a lot of leadership too, Teak. And when you look at Ohio State, it all starts with J.T. Barrett. I think he's been the catalyst for this team pretty much the last 2 years. They had the Cardell Jones experiment, after winning the championship and starting most of the season last year until they got erratic play out of him. But I think moving forward, they found that it was more settled and stable with J.T. Barrett. I think you have a stable position, the quarterback position. It all starts there. They're going to have a great deal of talent, but a lot of inexperience, and they're going to have to navigate those waters early, and that's where the leadership of J.T. Barrett is definitely going to come into play to help them get through that period, and it's not going to be easy. I mean, they have to go out to Norman and play Oklahoma at their place, a team that's going to be ranked in the top 5 preseason, and that's going to be an experience for them. So I still think they'll be in the thick of things, and they'll continue to mature and develop the course of the season. They'll be on high on everybody's list to win the Big Ten and so forth, but it's going to be a challenge for them to find out who they are early on.
We're talking to Eddie George with us here on Tiki and Tierney. Eddie, you mentioned the quarterbacks at Ohio State in the last couple of years. Some, not I don't want to say a revolving door, but kind of shuffling the deck a bit, and each one varying degrees of success for sure. Let's get to the other quarterback that you have a little, I'm sure, something emotionally invested in, Marcus Mariota, your former team. He got a chance to play a lot. What'd you think, and what's the next step? What does he do this year? How does he improve?
Well, usually for rookies, your leap years is your second year, and for him, he had great success. I thought last year. I don't look at the wins; I look at the quality of work that he put out there when he was healthy. I think now they have a clear understanding of how they want to approach the season by running the ball first, protecting their quarterback with a strong running game, and they invested in the offensive line to protect him in passing situations. And he's a smart quarterback, makes very little mistakes, a great leader on the field, and he's a threat to run as well. And I think he's poised to have a breakout year. I think they have the weapons around him to really support him. They have DeMarco Murray running the football. They drafted another Heisman Trophy winner and Derrick Henry out of Alabama. And I think the Titans could be a surprise team out of the South, a division really that's kind of up for grabs. I mean, you think about the Colts, how they came back to the pack a little bit. Jacksonville, they've improved a little bit. You don't know what you're going to get out of Houston. So I think the field is wide open for the Titans to gain some confidence early. If they can stay healthy and gain confidence early and really find out who they are early in the season, this thing can go on a roll. So I'm curious and excited to see just what they're going to do this year.
An optimistic Eddie George here, huh? I don't know, man. I'm kind of smelling
How many
five.
wins are you giving them?
I'm going to give him 5 or 6 wins. I don't see
Okay.
I don't see a whole lot yet. And I listen. I do like Mariota for sure. I just
Hmm.
feel as if they're in terms of personnel, the Jaguars have a lot. I think the Texans have a lot. I think the Colts have a lot to certainly to prove with Andrew Luck coming back and being healthy. But I am curious how you view this. All right, you talk about functional weight for quarterbacks and the growth physically and the maturation in the weight room and going from, in essence, a young man to a fully
Hmm.
grown man. I look at Bridgewater for the Vikings, and I don't really see a ton of wiggle room to put on really good functional weight. I wonder if Mariota faces the same thing given his body type. When he's fully mature,
Uh,
is that weight going to come naturally or is that going to be an issue for him?
well, I'm not too concerned about the weight. I mean, it has very little to do with the weight. I think it has to do with the experience,
Hmm.
especially at the quarterback position. I mean, the game is going to slow down tremendously for Mariota and Teddy Bridgewater. I think when you're a rookie, everything is at warp speed. You're trying to get used to the levels of speed. You know, when training camp's a different speed from the regular season is a different speed from the postseason and the playoffs. So the game is going to slow down tremendously for him, and he's going to pick his spots. When to run, when not to run. You're going to mature in that way. I don't think physically it's not going to hurt or help him at this point in time, if that makes sense. I don't think
Hmm.
by adding on 25
I
pounds
got you.
is going to help. You
Okay.
know, I watched Steve McNair, grow from his rookie year or his second year to the quarterback that he was by year 5 and 6 and 7, and he actually lost weight. But what
Hmm.
helped him was his knowledge of the game and experience. So
Okay.
that being said, it's going to come down to how much Mariota wants to be a true master of his craft and dedicate that time. And to me, he's putting in the time with the offensive coordinator and spending time with the receivers and the backs to really build a chemistry and a rapport with those guys.
We're talking Eddie George, who obviously had a hell of a career, four-time Pro Bowler, got a lot of carries, left a lot of. Probably could have squeezed out a couple of more years if he wasn't
Hmm.
just running to the ground. And if you watched Eddie play, you know he was a bowler. He's with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports
Yeah,
Radio.
Eddie, you talk about Marcus Mariota meeting with his coaches, and we all know the coaching situation down there. Wisenhunt was fired, Malarkey was
Hmm.
interim. He ultimately gets the head deal, and a lot of people speculated that was because there was some uncertainty in the front office with the
Hmm.
ownership structure. I don't know how close you are with ownership, but what's going on with the Tennessee Titans as it pertains to what
Yeah.
the structure is?
Yeah, and you're right, Tiki. I think it's one of those situations where everything starts from the top, as you know. You have a great owner, great ownership, a stability at the top. That usually trickles down and permeates into the type of team that you're going to have, the type of culture you're going to have within your organization. And for the Titans, after the death of Bud Adams, they were trying to identify who that next person was that was genuinely interested in the team, that has a passion for it, and that can make the necessary changes. And I think the Titans have gone through that process, which every team does. When you're changing leadership, you're going to go through those years where it's kind of unstable. You kind of things are set back. It's kind of unclear on who you're becoming and where you're going. And I think that Amy Strunk Adams is now looked at as the face of the organization, and they're really identifying that. And she's done a masterful job of going back in the community, going to the various practices, the various teams events, the caravans throughout the state of Tennessee to engage the fan support. And it's been a good thing for them to go through that. And now they're able to identify, okay, who is the best fit from a management standpoint, front office and head coach, that best fits our culture and which we're trying to create. And I think they're in the process of doing that, and that takes time. So,
Yeah.
yes, there was instability there for a period of time, but now they've been trying to desperately identify, say, hey, we're in this for the long haul. We are very passionate about the Tennessee Titans, and we are investing in our product.
Yeah, no, until you know who you are, it's hard to get people behind
Yeah,
you. Tell us what you
no
have
question.
going on with Russell Athletic and the Team On campaign
Yeah.
that's around team sports.
Yeah, it's a great initiative. I'm proud to be a part of this campaign to work with Russell Athletic on the Team On campaign. Throughout my career at Tiki, I've always tried to be a good teammate, a great teammate, a leader, and I always wanted to understand the importance of what it means to be on a team, to be selfless, not selfish. And my approach aligns perfectly with Russell's Athletic and their Team On campaign. And basically, this whole initiative is surrounded by, settling your score. There's been games that we've lost. Like I've lost against the Rams back in 1999. And those stories are untold. Everybody wants to talk about the stories of the champion, but it's the teams that may have lost the last 8 seconds or on that final throw, what happens then? And, they're doing a great thing of telling those untold stories and how teams have overcome adversity and done great things beyond the loss. Like, for instance, we lost in 1990 and 2000 against the Rams, and then the following season we had the best record in football. And it was because of that loss, that bad taste in our mouths, that we used that as a driving force. So we're telling those untold stories. I think it's a great way that Russell Athletic is looking and perceiving sports that, hey, not everybody's going to be a champion, but what happens to the team that did lose a heartbreaking loss, and how do they rebound and fight through adversity? Because I think that there's more gems and wisdom in losing than actually in winning sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And that, to me, is sometimes a trophy that can help you in different parts of your life as you move forward. So it's a great way, a great perspective that they have on looking at team sports, and that's what Team On is all about.
Eddie, always nice, man. Always cool catching up. Good friend of the
Yep,
show. I know we'll be wrapping during the Big Ten season.
absolutely.
We'll get you on in September when the Titans are still relevant, because after then they might not be.
Well, what about Virginia? How
Yeah,
they?
Hey,
we got
listen,
Bronco
Virginia.
there. We got Bronco
Jeez.
there, so we got some
Virginia.
high hopes. But Eddie, seriously, good luck in everything you have going on. Before we came on air, you told us that you're going to do a production down in Nashville, "Raisin in the Sun," which is a powerful, obviously, play based on a poem by Langston Hughes. So good luck with everything you got going on, my friend.
Thanks, my man. Appreciate you, brother. You guys take it easy and enjoy the rest of your summer.